on his face, and he opens his eyes at the very end. And that was the end of the movie.
So there was also, I think it was like 12 minutes of footage for a sequel that he filmed. You don't know about that?
Well, actually, from what I heard,
Mr. Robbie or something like that for Maniac 2.
And I heard Joe Spinell and William Lustig wanted to do a Maniac cop and Maniac movie together.
Oh, wow.
And they were actually in the process of writing it before Joe Spinell passed away.
Yeah, Spinell, that guy, man, he was just all over the place between, like, you know, Taxi Driver and the Rocky movies and
Godfather
movies and fucking Forbidden Zone. Have you ever seen that crazy fucking pile of shit movie?
Yeah.
And wasn't he like the scientist or something?
No, he was like a Boy Scout or something.
Okay, no, actually, I think it was one where I think it was a vampire in some movie, if I remember correctly. There's something where I seen him dressed up like a vampire.
Forbidden Zone's where he gets shot in the hallway by... Or is that's a different movie?
No, Forbidden Zone is Danny Elfman's ridiculous, insane black and white musical.
Oh, okay.
And if you've never seen it, then you really need to.
And actually, I forgot to mention, too, the headless corpse at the very end scene of the movie.
Oh, the one that raises up next to the bed and is squirting blood all over the place while he's getting murdered by
Used in Friday the 13th.
Yep, that's Betsy Palmer's corpse.
Did you... So I bought the Blu-ray. I was going to get the normal DVD because it does have the Joe Spinell documentary on it.
I have the Blue Underground DVD.
But I found it on YouTube, so if you want to check out the Joe Spinell story, it's pretty good. But the Blu-ray, since it's shot on 16mm, does not transfer well at all.
I have not upgraded.
It looks god-awful.
Because I don't want...
Don't even waste your time.
I want Maniac to look grainy.
Yeah, I mean, but it's... Like, I guess.
I'd say, because the Blu-ray I have, I think it looks pretty good.
Oh, it looks terrible, the one I got.
I would say, unless it's the same one, and I just never seen it compared to the
maybe you've got a nicer TV, huh?
Not so terrible, just, like, not Blu-ray quality. I mean, it's just, it enhances the graininess, I guess, from a regular DVD. I don't know.
Yeah, cause, I mean, I didn't have to double dip on this one, because I never owned it on DVD or VHS, so getting the Blu-ray, like, I'm just happy because I have it, so it's kind of hard to compare for me. But
so score time?
Yeah, score time.
What's your score, Scott?
Go ahead. I want to go first. I always go last, and then I always pick like the score Randy picked, so it looks like I'm.
I'll let you go. Go ahead and go first.
Maniac works a lot of ways for me because during that time there wasn't a lot of in slashers. There wasn't a lot of focus from the point of view of the killer. It was mainly on the victims and, like Friday the 13th and all that shit. It worked well for me in that way because you get to see how sick the guy is, kind of like in a psycho fashion. Love the use of New York City, the shooting. The Savini effects were top notch. I am going with a 8. Is that wrong?
No.
8 is fine.
That's decent.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Fuck.
For all the same reasons. I mean, yeah, Savini, this Jay Shadoway score, the use of New York streets, the
sweatiness of Spinell.
The character is really deep, you know, and there's a lot to it, and it has a lot more to say than just your typical slasher film. And it's, you know, there are just a million reasons that Maniac is elevated above most of the slasher films.
And also, Spinell chose this movie over a Spielberg movie, Used Cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess he was gonna make like $10,000 a week, and on that because back then it was pretty good.
Right.
I think it was more than scale. Also, Spinell was like the second highest paid actor in Godfather. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Behind Brando, yeah, because he was there every single day doing other stuff,
right.
And I guess he logged in so much work that he had to get paid a certain amount or something like that. So he chose Maniac not making anything at all.
Yeah, I think he even threw in some of his own money to produce it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Guy had a story to tell, man.
Well, and also it was his first feature, like him as the star of the movie. So
yeah, and unfortunately, the starring vehicles that he had after that were, I don't know, a lot more underwhelming. Like the last horror movie and something The Undertaker. I don't even remember now. Neither one of those were terribly great, unfortunately. Right. Scott, score.
I am debating between a 9 and a 9.25.
You can't go in between that. There's no
Well, I'm
9
or 9.25.
9.12.5.
No, I'm gonna go with. I'll just go with a solid 9. This movie is just fantastic. This is the second time I've seen this film. I can't believe I've never just watched this over and over again.
First this time.
I feel terrible because I
backfired on you.
Yeah. See, if I would have went last, though, I probably would have picked a 10 just to outdo you.
You finally would have gotten a 10, though.
No.
Yeah, you would have found your 10, Ken.
I'm not going to find my 10.
But no, I'd say, I really love it. Just for a lot of what you guys said, the grimy New York setting, just Joe Spinell's Frank Zito is just gross and just disgusting, but at the same time, he is a complex character that has a lot of, issues that they've done. They do a great job of telling through just his own monologues, which he has a lot of monologues. The Savini effects are just fucking fantastic. You can definitely see this is some what's to come in the future with his work. And
a lot of movies have totally ripped off Maniac over the years too, like that fucking murder set pieces, the unrated director's
So I ain't
version.
seen that unrated yet.
Yeah, Nick Colombo totally ripped off Maniac to the point where there's even a photography scene with bad music in the background.
yeah, so yeah, and I really didn't see too many flaws within the movie. And yeah, just I love the whole guerrilla filming of the that's just really fascinating to me. But yeah, 9. I'd say straight up 9. It was just all around great movie.
8.75 for me. Well, now I just feel I feel like I was just...
He changed his call.
Well, I'm not the first one to fucking do it. Usually you or Mike change it.
Yeah,
every
so
fucking time.
Mike changed it a lot in one podcast, if I remember correctly.
This is my first change. 8.75. On to our next film.
It's time for a crash course in terror at The Dorm That Dripped Blood.
Great.
What's wrong? The phone's dead.
Did you hear anything up on the roof?
Do you think we need to go up there?
Need to? Yeah, we don't need to do anything.
The Dorm That Dripped Blood, where the only thing you'll learn is how to die. The Dorm That Dripped Blood, rated R.
This next film is called The Dorm That Dripped Blood, a.k.a. Death Dorm, a.k.a. Pranks.
It was directed by
Some dude.
Stephen Carpenter and Jeffrey
Carpenter and
Obrow.
Jeffrey Obrow.
Oh, the guitar player from Deftones?
No, not Stephen Carpenter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know that guy's like Chuck Billy from Testament's fucking nephew or something?
Really?
Yeah, weird.
Hmm.
But anyway, effects by Matthew Mungle, maybe? I don't fucking know.
Mungle.
The score is by Chris Young, but the score is a complete rip-off of a couple of music cues from Friday the 13th and The Shining. Like the entire score.
Really? I mean,
Yeah, the main score
recreated or just ripped from the movie?
No, recreated.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it might not be like note for note, but it's it's like the difference between the score for Psycho and Reanimator. They're so close.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like the main theme is the end theme from Friday the 13th, the original, when Betsy Palmer is being decapitated.
Okay.
The main theme is lifted from that.
Oh, you mean this theme right here?
Yep, that one.
The other music cue is lifted from The Shining, that weird, like, dizzying, nauseating kind of like bass.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, there's that. And the movie's starts, it's like the eve of Christmas Eve vacation, and they're closing down this dorm and fucking gutting it.
University co-op.
Yeah, university co-op. And
So, why is these students in charge of cleanup? Like,
I don't know. I don't even know how they expect 5 students to gut this place on their own. You know?
yeah, I thought that was odd. Like, they don't have like a
That doesn't even seem
sanitation
feasible.
department that would do it. They're leaving
They're cheaping out, making the students do it.
unless they volunteered to begin with.
But before they start with the, the demolition and all that shit, they decide to have one last party, and everybody shows up to the party, and students gather for the party. That's when we meet our first red herring, the main girl's boyfriend, who she is like, not too keen on at the moment, and like at the party or whatever, they're having a disagreement because she's going to be alone with this dude that she likes while they're cleaning the co-op, and the boyfriend's not too stoked on that, and he's going to go off skiing by himself or whatever instead. So, red herring number 1. We also meet Daphne Zuniga in this scene of Spaceballs and the Initiation.
This is her first film, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
It's we get our first bit of violence here. Someone is like running out of the co-op and gets attacked, and they get their hands slit down the middle between their middle finger and their ring finger.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool effect.
Yeah, that shit would hurt.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Appreciate that at all.
Shit would hurt. I think any death scene in any movie would hurt, probably.
More
But
likely than not. So, this...
in my notes, I don't know, I guess it was at the party, but it says, oh, okay, so there's a part in the movie where she's like, I'm gonna go get something, blah, blah. He's like, get me a glass, too. And then she walks around and comes right back, and she doesn't have shit in her hands. I don't know why I wrote that down. Like, I was
I think
actually
that was
gonna...
also in the trivia, too.
Like, you guys were gonna catch that, or say it before me. So
I
just,
totally didn't catch that at all.
That's
pretty funny.
I was watching all the little fuck ups in this movie, because there is a lot of them. Also, it's the most feathered hair movie ever.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So Joanne, the main, the final girl, wink wink, she sends her boyfriend off to go skiing, and then immediately jumps on this dude that her boyfriend is apprehensive about her spending time with. Starts kissing on him and stuff.
So yeah, that guy's women's intuition was correct.
Absolutely. So Daphne Zuniga, she's supposed to participate in the cleanup, but she has to leave. And her parents come to pick her up, and they park the car, and they're typical fucking old married couple arguing and being annoying. And one of them wants to go up and get the girl, and the other one just wants to stay down in the car because she's a goddamn grown adult and can fucking walk out of a co-op building on her own. But the wife insists that they go in and get her, so the dad's like, no, I'll go get her. You stay in the car and be a dumb old bitch that I've hated for years. And he's going up the staircase, he's ascending the staircase, and then we see someone descending the staircase, and they have a bat with nails driven through it, and they start bouncing it on the stairs as they walk, and they eventually meet in the stairwell, and the old dude gets his brains bashed in with the nail bat, which is a great scene.
Yeah, that was really...
Lots of cool sound effects of, squishy head noises and bat smashes.
That was pretty well done.
And then Killer goes downstairs and gets Mom, somehow manages to open the door of the car, get in the back of the car, and string a garrote over her and start strangling her before she realizes what's going on. It seems like something you might not hear the car door open, but you're going to feel the shift of a car, when somebody gets in it. Whatever. Garroting. Daphne Zuniga comes down, sees her parents dead. He knocks her out, lays her down, and backs the car over her head and crushes her head.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, and I didn't expect her to go as quickly as that.
Yeah, I mean, like, when she first shows up in the film, you're like, oh, okay.